Welcome to the Gritty Mamas podcast this Sunday morning. It is Sunday morning, not midnight the night before.
Like 12 hours ahead of schedule here.
This is incredible. I'm feeling a little bit more refreshed. I feel a little more energetic because it's 9 a.m. and the next activity I have is heading to church. And so I'm dressed for the day. I even have earrings. I don't wear earrings anymore. I mean,
when did you stop wearing earrings?
You know, I don't mean for this to sound like I threw in the towel when he left, but when he left, I gave myself permission to not do the things I didn't really care about doing during the marriage. I don't care about earrings. I don't care about eyeliner. I don't care about eyeshadow. I don't care about doing my hair every day. I mean,
I feel like you did those things just to like feel attractive for your husband? Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
See, I quit wearing earrings when I had babies. Like I went a long time. The only time I would wear earrings is if I could put them in and then forget about them and sleep in them.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wear like this necklace here. That's why I wear this bracelet here. I will not wear things that I can't sleep in, shower in, or swim in.
Yeah, me too. We should come up with a line of mom jewelry that like
seriously
most people could sleep in, or
they can't sleep in these. I'll wake up with a flower on my cheek, and
you can't wear those with kids. Are you kidding? My kids would have ripped holes in my ear, which is a real thing. When my mom was a teenager, I don't know how old she was. Her sister, who's like 15 or 18 months, like just underneath her, was brushing her hair for her. And the hair got caught in an earring and it ripped my mom's hole in her ear. So now it's like 3 times the size it's supposed to be. I mean, it doesn't look like a gauge, but like, so her hole or her earrings always drop down a little bit in her ear. Like, can you imagine how painful that is? So that is like a real concern. And my kids did grab my earrings. In fact, my 4-year-old still kind of does sometimes. So I wondered when you stopped wearing earrings, if it was fallout from not being married anymore, if it was motherhood.
Yeah. And I hate to make it sound like, oh, well, you should just do it for yourself because you want to feel beautiful. Like I feel fine. I feel fine without earrings. I feel fine without eyeliner. I feel fine wearing a sweatshirt. And
Julie, I have a friend that I talk about on here a lot, actually. And I like adore this woman. She is like the prettiest woman I've ever known, the kindest, smartest. Like I just adore this woman. And she had a hard background growing up. Her family life sucked. There's just a lot of things that were hard. And she gets up every day and looks stunning for herself because it's one of those things that she's just like, I needed to like feel good about myself. And I kind of like show up in my life better if I feel like I look good. So for her, it's super important. And I'm the opposite. I'm like, well, that's not true. I've decided that when I go to the cabin, if I stay in like my muumuu all day, I'm like lazy as trash,
Yeah.
But if I put on my workout clothes, I'm going to go do the 3-mile walk around the island. I'm going to whatever, but I think it's important, to show up, to dress for the occasion.
Right.
But I'm the same way. Like I don't feel better about myself based on what I see when I look in the mirror. It just has never been like, it doesn't hurt to feel like you look pretty, but it's just not like my confidence boost. You know what I mean?
It's not mine either. And I mean,
and that's okay. I've talked to my friend about it. It's okay. We can all be different, right? Don't excuse it.
It's okay because I can hear my mom in my ear, like, well, we should look nice for, just for ourselves. And like boob jobs, for example, right? Like I was scheduled for one.
Were you really?
I was, only because like it's bad after nursing 8 babies.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Have you heard? My sister will say it's like I have a deflated tube sock.
Yes, it's exactly. But I don't even have like a sock. It's like a flappy little pancake.
Yes,
there's nothing. There's zero substance. And so, my sister always calls them, oh, these are just my bedroom boobs. And it's true. For me, I like being, well, I wasn't always small chested. I have become small chested because of that, I was just average. But after having these babies, I have nothing left. And so,
It's also the place, your boobs and your butt are also the place where the fat
yeah,
leaves first when you lose weight,
of
right?
course,
You've lost so much weight every time you have babies that, like, of course you're going to be flat chested. When
which
I
is
lose the weight I'm supposed to, I'm sure I will be more flat chested too.
yeah, well, it's like when that's why Dr. Cope is always like putting filler in your face because all the fat pads,
Yeah.
leave your face and all the places we want them to stay, it leaves. But
And that's sadly the stuff that makes you feminine is
yeah,
those fat pads and stuff. Yeah.
yes, exactly. And same with,
Mhm.
there is something to say about feeling womanly and having a chest and having a rear end and having some, high
Feeling
cheekbones.
confident.
Right. And I
Yep.
don't need it. I mean, I laugh with friends, like when I'm in a swimming suit, I'm like, oh, look at these cute little things. You know what I mean? But because they've done their job.
Yeah.
They've worked hard, they've produced. But again, I wanted to, it's like my brother said. My brother always says, there must be a restoration of all things. So, of course, I was like, to me, it was something that I could do to restore myself, but to also make it more fun, in the bedroom. But then I lost my $1,000 deposit because once he left, I was like, well, I don't need this. And some people were like, well, just do it for you. I'm like, I don't need big boobs. I don't.
Well, and it's that sunken cost fallacy, right? Like you put $1,000 in, so you feel like I have to do it. I have to do it. But
Yeah.
how much would the rest of it cost?
Yeah.
You didn't have thousands to
No,
go
it's
put
like a
in.
14, 15. I mean,
Oh
assuming I did a tummy tuck, which again, I don't need a tummy tuck for
no,
cosmetic
you look
reasons.
amazing for having 8 babies. I mean,
But
period, you look amazing. But I
oh,
can't
thank
believe
you.
that stomach had 8 babies.
It did. And I don't have a lot of stretch marks, and that's just genetics. My mom didn't either.
Yeah,
But like
it's
I
amazing.
have low back pain. You know what I mean? Of course I do. My core is my transverse, right? I have abs, but my transverse abdominis, those muscles that are below the abs, the rectus
Yeah, yeah.
abdominis, are shot. I mean, my abs are like this.
You have to get them sewn together.
You do. They don't just grow back together. All these things that you see on Instagram about diastasis recti, like just do these. No, they need to be pulled back and sewn.
I will tell you though, I had a friend that got what's it called? Oh, hernia. She had a hernia surgery, and then she got her stomach. Actually, I have a few that get the hernia surgery, and then they have those muscles that you're talking about sewn back together. And all of them have said like it takes 6, 10 times longer to recover from. And I have not talked to one who in that 8 week process is like, I wish I wouldn't have done it. Like it wasn't worth it. It sucks so bad. Now, I mean, years after when they forget the pain, it's kind of like having a baby. Maybe they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm so glad I did it. But I'm glad you didn't because I can't imagine you being a mother of 8 trying to recover from something like that. I mean, these women can't leave their beds for weeks. It's
No,
so
I mean, I
painful.
can't even. Have you heard of a Morton's neuroma?
Uh-uh.
I mean, pretend this is my foot. It's like a little tumor, benign tumor
Okay.
in between right here, and it pinches nerves, and so I can't feel these two toes. And
Really?
it hurts. Um,
Wow.
but I was like, I'm not getting that removed. I'm 6 weeks not being able to walk. Yeah, right.
Yeah, no.
I'm just gonna suffer through it because it's impossible. So back to the earrings, like my mom's always like, and other women like, well, do it for you. I'm like, I don't need to do that for me. Like I'm
Well, that's why
fine.
you're not doing it. You're
That's
not
why
doing it
I'm not
for
doing
you.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if
Yeah.
I did have the money, and not to say, this is like such an offshoot and so far in the future in my eyes, but pretend the impossible happens and I remarry, and then maybe I
Miracles
am,
happen.
yeah, yeah, maybe I am a little bit embarrassed. Maybe I am not as confident because it's the only person that sees you naked. Maybe then I will do it. Because for
Yep.
me, it would be bedroom boobs. I don't need them for myself. I would want them for fun.
Well, and I could see the thing is, I mean, I laugh when I talk to my husband about it, but I'm like, you did this. Like, you were part of this process. They're your kids. Like,
Yeah.
I sacrifice, but you do too. You have to sacrifice the wife that you married at, I was 19 years old. I will never look like that again. But the thing is neither will he. He'll never have his hair back.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I mean?
know.
Like, it is just aging.
Which
But when
takes
you
me
bring
back
it,
to that conversation at the Las Vegas buffet table. talking about the vasectomy, right?
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
was
yeah.
like, well, you don't look so great yourself, bro.
But it's like when you've done it together and you've grown together and you've sacrificed together and the kids are yours, it doesn't feel embarrassing. It doesn't feel like there's no reason to be embarrassed about it. And the transition has been slow and over time. And so it doesn't feel like I don't feel bad, right? But if you do find somebody, I feel like I'm echoing on your side. Can you hear an echo when you talk?
No, not really. No.
Interesting. I can hear myself like on your computer or something. Um, anyway, I feel like if you were starting something new with someone new, um, I could see how you'd be like, well, he didn't see me before, which actually could be a good thing, right? Because there's nothing to compare
I
old
can only
you.
be enhanced, buddy. This
Yeah.
all can just get better. It just gets better from here. But you're right. I mean, like I'm proud of what I've done. Um, like I said, like going to Dr. Cope, I never would have done Botox or filler, but he just was like, obviously it's a partnership, and we, I help pull in some new clients for him, and he just does some free treatments on me. But I never would have done that kind of thing.
Right.
I don't get the fancy new clothes. Well, like I said, it's just the last thing on my mind is myself and not my needs. Of course, I have self-care and all the things, but I don't have pedicures. I don't get my hair done often, maybe once a year, which is why you can see my rogue white strips coming in. I don't care. Like I'd rather just
Well, your
age.
job doesn't require you to
No,
have those things. There's
I'm
some
not
people
a
like,
wife.
well, even then though, right?
Even
Like
then,
my
I
job,
know.
I don't have long nails. I don't get my nails done because I get pissed when I spend all this money and I'm washing dishes or I'm playing with the kids and I cut them with my nails or the paint chips, right?
Yeah.
And it's like I spent all of this money for why? For who? If I was online selling stuff and you saw my hands all the time or something, maybe I would think that I should, but like I am such a believer in dressing for the occasion. And my occasion is being a mom. My occasion
Yeah.
is showing up for my kids. I haven't worn my wedding ring in, I don't know how long, at least 10 years, if not longer, because I got tired of cutting my kids with it, right? Like the prongs that hold in a
Yeah.
diamond or whatever.
Yeah.
And then in my family, the women at least, that we get really chunky, wide fingers over time. Like we swell.
The
And
little
so my ring does
sausages,
not, what?
just little sausages, like when
Yeah.
you're
Oh, yeah.
pregnant. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
My mom's fingers look just like her sister's fingers that look like my fingers, right? And my grandma's. But so my ring from when I was younger does not fit. Now, could I make it fit? Yes. Could I change it? But I don't. It doesn't suit the occasion right now for me. And I just feel like we need to stop making excuses for not showing up to other people's occasions, right? Like it's other people's lives are not our lives. We don't need to dress like them and try and show up in our life the way they show up in theirs.
There's the thing that it does come into my ears every now and then, like, oh, she just let herself go, now that he's out of the pit. And I'm like, no, I would have looked like this, but he kind of required, like I said, I got dressed for a date and he said, are you going to get ready? And I was like, I am ready. But
he's a performer.
Yes.
Performers have costumes every time you leave the house. I mean,
he wanted the kids to have, their hair done, and it was very much image,
Yeah.
and how we represented him. Now with the nails, I probably, if I had the money, would go get nails to stop myself from picking.
Yep.
Right.
And do you bite your nails?
I don't bite them, but I'd pick at my face. I'd pick at my actual nails. I would, rip off. I mean, but when you have like acrylics or even shellac or gel nails or whatever they are, it's harder, and it would prevent me from, these bad habits. So I would do that, but it's again, I'm like, I don't care.
Well, and I will say too, maybe in the near future, I don't know, we'll see, but maybe you'll see me with fingernails done. So don't hold me to this. Like I never had my nails done thing, but
it's just
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But what I was going to say is, last time we talked about how my daughter and I we're on this health journey, right? Trying to help her feel better. And we're going to have to do like dairy-free, gluten-free, like all of the things. She's allergic to bananas and green beans and like random stuff. Cinnamon. Who's allergic to cinnamon? Right. Mm-hmm. So anyway, when I was talking to my friend who's the GI specialist, she talks about how when she had to do this journey herself, you have to kind of like take the emotion out of food, which is really hard to do. But also it's a way that you treat yourself with ice cream, right? Like you love ice cream. Well, if somebody told you you can't have ice cream, you have to have some way to treat yourself, right? And so she was like, I started doing my nails for myself when I had to take away that reward of food so that I could replace it with something else. And she's like, so I spent the money and got my nails done. And every time I looked at my fingers and felt beautiful, it was like a reward to myself. It was that dopamine. It made her feel good. And it was like a pretty good reminder, right? You have to like find other things that bring you joy. And so I don't want to like poo-poo anybody's choices on style or anything else. There's a reason why they do it.
You can get your nail. I'm just like in the motherhood mode during school, all the things like you're not going to see me looking fancy. Like if you see me online and I, am on the podcast looking like this is not normal.
It's normal for Sunday morning.
Sunday morning is about the only time I get ready. And it's not even that ready because look at my hair. At least it's clean and shiny. It's not even usually that.
That's why people love it when we don't go into the studio and we just do this. Maybe this will be our summer norm and we just do this all summer.
Seriously, it's so hard to get there.
You are the most authentic in your closet, dressed as you are. Like when you first showed up to my house to do the first podcast episode, I was like, my hair was down.
You did.
I thought about
pretty.
I wanted to like be intentional about how I looked. And I was so nervous, even like figuring out the mic situation. I was just nervous about the whole thing. And so that was not my authentic, comfortable self. Right. But you showed up in a t-shirt that you'd been wearing. Like I remember texting you and be like, what are you wearing? Like, what am I supposed to wear?
Yeah.
And I was, compared to you, overdressed and over makeup and stuff.
No, not at all. The thing is, I honestly would like to. I'm like, people are looking at your face. People are looking. All they have to look at is you right now if they're watching on YouTube.
Right.
They're going to be looking at what you're wearing. They're going to be looking at what's over here. I wonder what she's got over here. What's in this drawer? What's the picture behind Carly? It's her cute little son who made a picture of what is it?
It's a parrot. A
parrot that he wanted all of you guys to see. Like you're going to be looking at that because we all do. When there's nothing else to look at and you're sick of looking at our faces, you're going to look around. And I've always thought to myself, gosh, well, if I'm podcasting and I'm selling myself, so to speak, with my face and the things that I say, yes, I should look good. And I wanted to. And that was always the original goal, was to be able to be somewhat, attractive or nice to look at, because that's all you have to look at is my face. But it got to, I couldn't do it. Not because I didn't want to, but because life happens and 8 kids happens and it's time to podcast. And I'm like, something's got to give. Either I do it as I am, or I don't do it at all because I am too embarrassed of what I look like after a long day. It would never get done.
We just have to, it's like when you get that fire under your feet, we know we got to go. We're not prepared. And at the beginning, I mean, we're hoping as our kids go to school and as, life things change and we get better and, learn more, whatever, that we'll be more prepared. We'll have, the preparatory time to prepare an episode. Like if you listen to all of the big podcasters and stuff, they might be on air anywhere from an hour to 3-4 hours, depending on if they're answering questions.
They have an editor that goes in there.
That's post-production. I'm talking pre-production. Like they spend as much, if not 3 times as much time preparing for their on air than they do on air, right? So like if they're doing an hour-long podcast, they've been researching and talking to people and doing all of the prep work for hours and hours and hours before that hour, right? Well, you and I, it's not just we don't have time to prepare our bodies, our faces. We don't have time to like be so meticulous about what are we going to talk about. It's like we're going to push play and see where the conversation goes, and hopefully it goes somewhere interesting.
And sometimes I'm like, I have no business doing this because, there's not a preparation precedes power. Is that it?
Yep.
I mean, we'd probably have better podcasts if we prepared a ton, but also it would never get done because
that's right.
And it would never get done. I'd stop before I started because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's too overwhelming. It's too much to think about when I'm trying to think of the next antidepressant for which kid that I need to get put on. And registration for school is next week. And
Well, and the purpose, I think, of like the brand that you've made is not perfection. It is not only our best selves. I think the people who tune into this, they want actually authentic, and too much preparation kind of removes that. It's kind of like I would equate it to a good talk. Anybody who's gone to church and has like really enjoyed a talk, a speaker, however your church does it, right? They get up there and they are speaking kind of off the cuff. They're not reading something. I've had a lot of good talks where they're reading, right? In general conference, they're reading from a teleprompter, from a talk they've already written, right? But if you are an unpracticed, you're not a performer, and you give a really good talk, it's because you stood up there, you prepared, but you didn't script it. And you allow the Spirit to dictate what comes next. The thoughts that come to your mind that you share are not ones that you thought about, 10 days ago when you were writing the talk. They're in the moment that seem applicable to that time. And so I feel like that's kind of this podcast. That's kind of where we're headed. But also we want to be more like prepared and have
because I'm sitting here picking at my toes now. This is crazy because I need something to fidget with while I'm talking because but yeah, like the whole point of this, sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? We've got 2,000 listeners or viewers on YouTube. We probably have the same amount in listeners. So let's say 4,000 to 5,000 people watch and listen to this. Like
which is wild, by the way.
Yeah. What could it be if I actually, well, not that I don't put effort, because this is effort. Just being here is effort,
This is the widow's mite.
Yeah. And what would it be? Because then I'm like, and it's making, I don't know, maybe $150, $200 a month. And that includes probably a couple of subscribers, bless their souls and thank you. But what could it be? And that goes to kind of 20 minutes in what I kind of wanted to talk about today. It's the rebuilding part, because I do want this to grow. I do want this to build into something. And for the last 4 years, I have been trying to find, like, what's my path now, right? I have these 8 kids and I'm by myself. The goal was always to support him being a pop star while we followed him around wherever he went. And I just was the mom at home taking care of all the things I've always taken care of, but I didn't have to worry about the finances. Well, that's gone, poof, like gonzo.
Well, I've wondered though, sorry, I don't want to get off track, but has there ever been a time where you didn't worry about finances and you didn't have to contribute? Was there ever a time that you really
I've worried about finances the entire marriage. So it's just like, tenfold at this point, because at least something was coming in, at least he could, but not always, like, because he had the potential to make $25,000 in one night.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if there was a lull for 3 months, like it would, we'd have to, like, at the end of 3 months, I'm like, oh my gosh, then
it's feast or famine. Yeah. So you'd have to save.
But it wasn't even ever feast really, because that 25,000 would then take care of the 3 months in the past and give us a little bit more for the next couple of months or whatever. We were never loaded ever, and we were when I was the sugar mama, when we had no kids and I was working 5 jobs because I was a workhorse. That's how I was raised, was to work hard. And he would always say, he wouldn't even say it's not about working harder, it's working smarter. It was just like, you shouldn't have to work that hard. Like, it should just manifest, right?
Oh.
Think about it and it will come to you. And I hate that. So I do sometimes get like irritated because I know it's a true principle, but like, if you're thinking about, being wealthy, if you're thinking about, like attracts like, and you are what you think, I can't stand it, because that's what he has always done and always thought. And look at him now.
It's because he took one principle and didn't attach it to another one that's very important. It's the power of positive thinking. Yes, it's true. Call it manifesting, call it whatever you want. The power of positive thinking, 100%. There's so much psychology, so many studies out there. Yes, the power of positive thinking is 100%.
And action works.
But then you have to take that positive thought and turn it into action. So I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, and the quote is, it's nobody really that I can find knows where it originally came from. But the idea is that your thoughts become your actions become your habits, Your habits become your character, and your character ultimately becomes your destiny, right? And so, yes, it starts with your thoughts, 100%. But then where is it leading you? You have to act. Like, there's no magical, mystical force in the universe that's going to say, I see your thoughts and I love your thoughts and I'm just going to genie it for you. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
It drives me just absolutely freaking
Yes.
crazy. This
Now,
stuff.
you can't just start with the action is the point though, right? Like, yes, start with
There's
the thought.
vision. There's vision, you know.
There's
If
vision,
there is no vision, the people perish. Alex would always say that too. And I was always like, I guess it was just like listening to him say the things, but then there was never any real
Well, I think it's
fruition.
even worse than that. My opinion, this is my opinion, but from what I have witnessed, I think the frustration comes more because the petitioner had the thought and he expected you to have the action.
Oh, 100%.
You really are the one that was like, okay, well, now I got to make this happen.
All right. But then when there was action, there was probably resentment because I did what I said I was going to do.
Not just that, it's even worse than that, Julie. That's applying to like your day-to-day life. When he had success in his career, I would bet solid money that some of it was a direct result of something you did, a contact you made. You were his accountant and his secretary and all of the things. And so it's worse than that because he had the thought, you had the action, and then he gave himself the credit. Yes. And so did everybody else.
Sucker. And I had people say, well, maybe he was just jealous. And I'm like, what are you talking about? But I mean, I can see pieces of that where I am very much, if I have something in my mind, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it at least to the best that I can. You know, like my little mominator parties, writing a book, starting a podcast. Like it might be ghetto, but we're here. And there was not that unless it was handed to him. And I mean, like spoon fed. And half the time it was me putting a bib on him. That sounds so bad, but it's just the truth. But so for the last, 4 years, I've had to think to myself, okay, well, what do I do? What do I do now? And wasted 6 months hoping and wishing that he would come back. So at that point, I should have listened to the therapist who said, you start putting money aside now. You file paperwork now while he has nowhere to live so that you can secure your kids. And
which you didn't do because to you, that signified giving up, and you don't give up on anything. So that's why you didn't do it, which is totally understandable.
Yeah. And I should have, but I'm like, I don't hold that. I don't blame myself because I thought that was giving up faith, and so I have done, I want to say I've learned a ton of new things, and I don't just mean like resilience, and I've learned how to pick myself up by my bootstrap. I have learned new systems, new computer processes. I've learned new ways to be resourceful, things I didn't want to learn, but have had to. And I love this quote that I heard online that said, why did you make me suffer through that, God, or something, which is not really how it works. But it was like, the quote was something like, because I needed you to get through it so that you could go back and help people get through it also. Go back and get the people who are still there. Not that I feel like I'm a savior by any means, but like if I have been to the point of no return where there is $0, where there is nothing but my tithing, my faith, and like my good old fashioned grit, like that is trying to figure out something to make this work. And so for the last 4 years, it's kind of been this period of rebuilding, but I keep my wall keeps tumbling down. Right. So I have done the content creating, but I did that for 10 years and we were just kind of stagnant. I have been at 214,000 subscribers, which is great, but it's nothing compared to the 17 million by the royalty family or royal family or the LeBrant family. Or
I looked at the Tannerites the other day and I was like, it was something crazy, like 9 million or 14 million, something crazy. I was like, really?
It is crazy. And it's a husband and wife working together, and planning things. And that's his full-time job. You know what I mean? So
I will say though, are you talking about the Tannerites?
Well, there's tons.
Yeah. But I will say, so my iPad that my kids use and stuff, everything that's logged is on my account. So I am subscribed to people like the Tannerites that I did not subscribe to.
That your kids
who does it? The kids.
Yes,
so
I know. Me too.
I feel like on channels like that, it's probably an inflated number of children who are following on accounts that don't actually watch them. That's my personal opinion because
It's
I'll
true.
have to go and
Well,
unfollow people.
and the Tannerites got demonetized just like I did. So they started the Yowie family, which is You Are Worth It. So the Tannerites is not really, I mean,
Wait, is it still demonetized?
I don't know. I haven't talked to them for a long time,
I
but
thought don't they just demonetize for like a video or something, but you can get it back for the channel?
no, I got my whole channel scrubbed
Why?
because I showed an inappropriate sexualized picture or video of Adana doing gymnastics in a leotard.
What?
So this is when that big law, I can't remember what it's called, COPA or
I
something,
remember it
COPPA,
was several years ago, something
Children
like that.
and Privacy Protection Act or something. And so vloggers everywhere were freaking out because the bot or whatever was going after all of us. And, it would flag me and give me a strike for a crying baby. So if I was holding my 3-month baby in my arms, like,
What?
okay, you guys, this is my Senegence makeup, and my baby was crying, they'd flag it because it was showing a child in distress. So, but it was a bot, so it was just like going flagging all of these videos, and vloggers were just getting destroyed left and right. And I was under the
Wow.
radar for so long because I don't had near the subscribers that my friends do. But so the Ohana Adventure got demonetized, the Tannerites got demonetized, I got demonetized, the Frankies got like everybody was just getting like slashed. And so that was when this private, because you have pedophiles that go on
Yeah.
to
Oh yeah.
vlogs. For people that don't understand, they'll go on vlogs and they'll see Xander with a shirt off and a diaper when he's 4 years old, or not 4, but like 2.5 or something, because I happen to pan the video and he happens to be right there. And
Well,
you're
and
a
what they'll
mom.
do, they'll go and they'll leave timestamps for
Yes.
other pedophiles to go and
Yes.
look
So
at that same thing.
they'll say 31 dash 14, go to 31 minutes and 4 seconds and you'll see this baby in a diaper,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for us, we're moms and we're just like, you don't think, so we were
Well, that's stuff
all
that you see when you leave your house and go to a park or
right.
anywhere. Like it doesn't
So
feel like it should be a
vlogging
big deal.
changed. You couldn't
Mhm.
vlog anymore authentically because you had to hide everything. I couldn't show my baby crying. I couldn't show Adana doing gymnastics because they said that I had was showing an inappropriate pictures of a minor. Like
And
I
that
said,
since changed because you show that content now all the time.
I just don't care. Like I'm sure I'll get more strikes probably, but I'm like I cannot do this. I can't. So this isn't where we meant to go, but I couldn't show a bloody nose or pulling teeth. Like the whole point, not the whole point, but vlogging, you were more successful. And I hate to say this, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of crap for it. If your thumbnail was showing your kid's bloody mouth, right, of having a tooth pulled or a broken arm, and those videos are way more monetized and way
Oh
more
yeah.
viewed, right? Because
Well,
we're
it's interesting
humans
to
and we're
people.
curious, yes. But I had to go in and I didn't. Some people just deleted their channels. I didn't delete my channel, but I went and deleted every video. I had a video
Wow.
where Ari has a Cheerio stuck up his nose and we're pulling it out with tweezers and he's crying. He's 32 million views. And it was making me money. And I had to wipe it out because after a while, they gave me a strike because he was in distress because he's crying because we're pulling the Cheerio that was stuck out of his nose. So I lost 32 million views, which was making hundreds a month, just that video alone.
Wow.
So
So wait, when you like the Tannerites, you said they created a new channel. Was the
yeah,
strategy, would they go on the Tannerite show and say, or channel and say, hey, we have a new channel, follow that? And that's how they, like, did they build up their channel again?
yeah. So it's the Yowie family, Yawi. That is more like their vlog, I think. And the
Okay.
Tannerites have been, I can't remember, were they challenges? Was it like,
I don't even
I don't know.
remember.
And
Yeah.
maybe the Tannerites now has monetized again. I talked to Sarah often, but we just talk about life. We don't really talk about, because we all got, maybe I'm speaking in behalf of people that's not true, but we got burned out of being shafted because they're
Yeah.
showing sex scenes and all these videos that are showing porn. And you're like, okay, so you're not flagging or giving them, but you're giving people that are doing, but then you got, Ruby Frankie who destroys it for all of us.
Oh,
Right.
freaking Ruby Frankie. Yeah.
So we all got destroyed. I was vlogging every day. I was making, at one point when I broke my wrist, I made $5,000 off of that video. Like,
Wow.
so yeah, you can make money. But then I started making $100. And I was like, and then I just lost my motivation, the mojo. I lost the ganas. Ganas is in Spanish. Sorry, that's a Paraguayan term. I was like, I don't care anymore. So then I dropped down to once a week posting. And now it's to the point where my vlog is so bad. It's just like cut and paste, which people appreciate because it's real, but I don't have an editor. People had editors. They had people that would type in the captions, but now you have things that automate that, like I had nothing. I still have nothing. So I'm like, I'm vlogging. I'm going to create a podcast. I'm going to try digital real estate. I'm going to watch dogs. I'm selling shipping containers. Like the amount of I'm not reinventing, but I'm adding more bricks and adding more stuff where I'm like, I can't do it, but I need all of it. So I have come to find out that I like the rebuilding part. Like chat helps me and tutors me when I'm learning a new system.
You actually like learning. I think it will surprise most people when they get to our age because we hated school so much.
Yeah.
But the more we talk, the more, time goes by. I think that you genuinely enjoy learning.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and I like seeing something successful, like when I had an automated system. If I would get a lead, right, for this lead generation business that I'm doing, I was able to figure out a way, because chat tutored me on how to create a spreadsheet where if somebody wanted a shipping container, it would go into my spreadsheet, and then I coded. I was like, not I coded like my heart, but like I was coding, like in the computer, and
Do you code Excel?
Well, I don't, but chat does it for me. Gives me the code. I copy and paste it, put it in, and then it sends me a text. You have a new lead. So I'm like,
wow.
Ding, I'm like, oh my gosh, I did that. And I was so proud of myself. Right. So then I start learning digital real estate because the vlog isn't making money. It's $100 a month. I was like, this is pathetic for the work I'm putting in, because we all lost our motivation because everything was demonetized and just like trashed. I couldn't be authentic. I couldn't show anything.
It's not clear at this point that as I understand, it's not clear how the people who are successful make money, how they actually do it. Like the algorithm is tricky. And the creators that I've been listening to lately have said, if you don't interact with the video, like the views don't matter. It's like how many people like and how many people comment is what propels your video forward.
I know.
Yeah,
well, it's changed. So the algorithm was, if you post for 90 days straight, every single day, because at that point the algorithm and YouTube was wanting people to post like crazy. Posting. And I did that, and at 90 days one of my videos was pushed, and it was called The Loudest Barfer, and it was Adana when she was sick, and I was like, oh my gosh, can you guys hear that? And she's puking. It went viral for me. And then people are subscribing left and right. But then the algorithm changed to now where it was, whatever it was, engagement with your audience, not so much how much you're posting, but the quality of what you're posting. And then it changed to the quality of your posting to now it is the stories. They want stories. They don't want just mundane crap like I was posting and daily life. They want a story to follow, something that is engaging and heartfelt and like you're pulled in. But I can't it's like you have to, as a nurse, have continuing education. There's a continuing education for YouTube, but it changes constantly, just like medicine, just like psychiatry and all those things. But I can't do it. I can't keep up. There's no degree in YouTube. I mean, there's Daryl Yee, what's his name? Daryl, I just forget his name. He's like, does all the YouTubing for The Chosen. And Daryl Eves is his name, who created a whole system called Jumpstarter that helps YouTubers, but it constantly changes. And that's been part of the problem with digital real estate. So I bought that course. I've been learning it. It has been so informational and I've loved learning it. Again, learning, but you get on and you watch one of his courses and he's teaching you how to make Google ads and he's teaching you how to make Facebook ads. And then when I go in and I make them, the whole thing has changed. The entire Google Ads system is not the same anymore. It's not as it was a year. It's like updates on your phone. Everything has changed.
Yeah.
So I go in, I'm like, wait, this button's not here that says like, okay, make a headline, add your keywords here. I'm like, that's not even there. Like, where do because it's changed. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with it. And so I can't keep up with my life. all the new updates on the iPhone, all the new updates on Google ads and Facebook ads and the algorithm of YouTube. And I'm just like, God, what am I supposed to do here? What do I do? I have rebuilt, I've built this wall. And then when the bricks are coming down, not because the life is crashing, but when YouTube's algorithm changes and a brick falls out and there's a hole, and when another brick falls out and I've got, I've got to figure out what do I do with the shipping containers that are now, I can only sell from a certain state or from a certain depot or whatever. And then when the ports were closed from COVID, the containers aren't even coming in, because they're shipped across the ocean. Do I patch these walls and spackle it? Or do I let the whole thing come crashing down and reinvent? Like, that's where I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And that, I think, is what this podcast is. What Gritty Mamas is. It's rebuilding. That's why I wanted this headline to be like the kind of the motto, the slogan. She didn't break, she built. It's not like she reinvented. It's kind of a play on bend, not break, if you know what I'm talking about, for those of you that followed that. Like, and I'm like, oh, please. This is like, it's the fact that, yeah, you might have broken, but you're rebuilding. And, or she didn't.
Remodeling.
She was rebuilding. So I wanted women on this podcast because, remember, I couldn't talk about my own life. I wanted women who were building after financial devastation, after divorce, after loss, after separation, after heartbreak, after motherhood swallowed their identity, after starting a business that bombed. I wanted to be able to interview these women who have had great loss. And I didn't want everything to be so heartbreaking, but something that made other women feel like, oh my gosh, if she can do this, I can do this. I can do this, I wanted women who have stories. I wanted women who have built things that don't necessarily have destruction and tragedy in their lives, but we can do this. The world changes when women can lead, when women can,
100%.
Guide, and we're not just moms. Like, we have.
It makes me think of that quote from, I got to find it. I should have found it before this, but there's a quote that says, we need women who are smart, who are driven, who are educated. We need women in the church and in the world, because, like you're saying, it does change the world. I mean, there's that really famous quote about, the hand that rocks the cradle is the real person who changes the world, right? Like, you are affecting generations as mothers, right? And so I think it's so, so important. But I wanted to tell you the story that one of our good friends and one of my Sunday school kids from last year is headed off on a mission, and his farewell was recently. And I actually recorded I hit voice record, and I recorded his farewell talk at church. And I want to go back and listen, because I just loved this story he told. I got to figure out which book it's from. He talked about, he read a book and this parable comes from that book, but he said, it's about this guy who built houses for a living, and he was known for building beautiful, well-constructed, well thought out, amazing houses, right? So he spends, his entire career doing that. And he goes to his boss. He's like, I'm tired. I'm ready to retire. And his boss just begs and says, just please, one more house. I know you're tired. One more house. I just need you to build this. And then I'm totally fine with you to retire. So he's like, okay. So then he agrees. He starts building this house, but it's slow. He doesn't put the time and energy into it that he normally does with the craftsmanship of it, because he's just tired and he just is ready to retire. He doesn't care, right? So over time, he finally does it. He gets the job done, bare bones, whatever. He goes to his boss. He says, I've done it. Can I please retire? And he says, absolutely. Thanks so much for doing it. And then he hands him a box, a gift. And he says, this is from us at the company and all of your friends. And he hands him the box and he opens it, and it's a key. And he says, this is the key to the house you just built. This is a key. This is your retirement from us. Thanks for all you do. Here's your house. And the parable is like, had he known that he was building his own house, he probably would have done things differently. He would have paid way more attention and done it just right and been so meticulous to how he wanted it, but he didn't know. And the missionary was just kind of like, I'm going on a mission and I'm doing it to serve the Lord and I'm doing it to serve the people. But I think, kind of the unintended consequence that's a good one is I'm building my house at the same time, right? I'm building the house of the Lord. I'm being a missionary, but I'm also building my house, and I want to do right by the Lord and by myself and become, I want my house at the end to be something that I'm proud of, not just, kind of like a crappy outcome because I didn't put in the effort.
Yeah.
And I love that because I think what I'm seeing even this week when you were talking about how discouraged you were with this lead generation stuff and how hard it is, and you're learning all these things, but it's not panning out the way you want or as quickly or whatever. The skills that you're learning are building your house, and I was telling you earlier, like, I think that you're going to be able to use these skills for your own business, for your own pursuit.
Yeah.
You thought you were building somebody else's house by learning somebody else's program and selling their stuff, but you're really building your own.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody commented, I mean, the comments we read, right? And somebody commented and was like, okay, wait. So you're telling me that you are busting your rear end, making ads for someone else's business to make someone else rich. And I was like, well crap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But part of that's because I'm like, but I have nothing to sell. Or maybe I would do it for myself. But again, I didn't know how to do it for myself because I had to learn it for someone else and then realize, gosh, well, maybe I can use these same things that I have learned to apply them to my own life and figure out something to sell, which is why I have gone back to the drawing board because I was so excited about that client that I was telling you about. I got one and I lost him. Not because of a poor relationship or anything, but I mean, I was the one that like said, you can pull out of the contract. It's fine. Because I don't want to have somebody who's unhappy, but he was unhappy because the leads that I was providing weren't as high quality as he had hoped. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I have no control over who is, over the leads. I mean, I can qualify them first, but also that's not part of the deal. I'm just providing leads and I didn't want him to be unhappy or dissatisfied. So I was like, you can totally get out of this contract. But the deflation of like, oh my gosh, I got my first client. I just have to rinse and repeat. Not that I can't still do that, but the more I thought about it, I'm like, why don't I just take all this lead generation and these ads that I'm creating for someone else, create them for myself and put my own business out there, which is why I'm like, I have got to go back to the drawing board. I have got to go back to what was making money and what was successful. And I have to do it, I guess, just more cautiously because it was YouTube. YouTube was making money with real life and the chaos of, because I was even talking with Chat, my little best friend, and I'm like, there's nothing. And I know we've had this conversation. I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer. I don't mean to sound like I'm like, woe is me, but I'm like, there is nothing interesting about me. Well, the fact that you have 8 kids and this is a single mom and it's chaos, that is interesting to people. Start focusing on your life. And I liked this thought that vlogging is, the story of my life. It is the day in and day out of every day. But the Gritty Mamas podcast is the processing of my life, just like it's the processing of other women who have done things, and it's where I can grow because I can't afford therapy. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't tell you how many times Carly has been asked to be a therapist or told to be a therapist or start her own podcast because there's wisdom in the things that she says. It's just some gift that you've been blessed with, and we're all just lucky to hear it, on a podcast like this. But like, I'm like, I've got to go back to the drawing board and do what was working and enhance it and make it better. So if I can get back on YouTube and use these new tools that are, Satan is using them just as much. So why don't we use them for good? I'm going to use Chat. I'm going to use AI. And that's part of the reason I started making my cute little book animated. So I took my Mominator book and I used AI to make it an animated version.
Which is so fun.
It is so fun. And if I can put that up on YouTube and have little kids watching that, because my kids are glued, watching the book come to life and the actual figurines moving, that can make money. You know? Yeah. That will get views. Bless you. I was going to say, look at the light and sneeze.
Oh, but it went away for a second.
Oh, it's the worst when it goes away. But so I'm like, okay, maybe I can do that. And maybe I can, we can get this podcast, a little bit more clarity or a little bit more organized. And I'm going to have to take time away from the things I was focusing on, like the digital real estate, and use them for me. and
Mm-hmm.
build my own, empire instead of someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rebuilding, it's repatching. I don't want to say reinventing, but it is trying again. It is trying again and starting over and finding that sweet spot. And hopefully it will be a little bit easier because kids are going to be in school in 1 week.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I had a kid in tears over it yesterday. It's
Having to
not
go back
cool.
to school.
Yeah. They just social stuff is really hard for kids,
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
and one of my kids is just like it just feels like nobody's super authentic, and it's just like I don't know that it's that they're not authentic, kind of it's that nobody knows who they are. Nobody, this is an age of growing and changing and trying to figure out who you are and what you want to be and who you want to be and all of that. And people change all the time. It's not that they're inauthentic, it's that they are confused and, struggling. Everybody is struggling. And so, you put in the rigor of school with the chaos and uncertainty of social stuff, and it's just hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sucks for school, but
it's
it
great
is
for
what it is.
moms to be able
Yeah.
to like get a little bit of stuff done. You know what I mean? And I'm not having to entertain, not that I did, but like they're not following me. And I was like, I've got to stop. If I keep watching all these dogs, I'll just keep doing it because it's the most reliable thing right now. But
Yeah.
I mean, I was in the temple just like, Heavenly Father, what do I do? Because this thing that I thought would work, which is working, right? But I can't get the thought out of my head that, yes, I'm building someone else's business. Why am I not building my own? And, well, it's because, Julie, because you have nothing to sell. Well, then find something to sell. Okay, well, what is that? And I'm like, well, my books, that's one thing. Somewhere I can start. I can start with...
Do you still have a relationship with that illustrator?
Yes, I do. And they could make more, but like I would have to, it's like, it's expensive,
Yeah.
to pay them, and
I happen to know an illustrator.
oh, do you? Who
Yeah,
is
he's
it?
my dad.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh my gosh, I was gonna say you could make the
Oh
drawings.
no. I mean, that is the level of art that I can do. I can't do, and I'm not that educated in it. It would take me far too long to do a good job at something like that. But my dad actually, he started in forensic, right? But he went back to school. He went to BYU and he has a degrry in illustration.
That's
And he's got
crazy.
buddies who illustrate for like the Nintendo game world and stuff
No
like that.
way.
Yeah, so he's got contacts and stuff, but every illustrator has a style, right? And so
Yeah.
your books are of a certain style. So I don't know.
But I've had two
if
different
you-
illustrators,
Oh,
so
you have?
I need to bring you the
Okay.
books.
Yeah, I need to see them.
They're so cute. Oh my gosh, the illustrations are what make them.
So are your two different? How many books do you have?
3. So the first 2
Three.
are by the same girl, Brooke Knight. The second
Okay.
one is by Jordan Peterson. And they're so cute.
There's a Jordan Peterson that I think everybody else knows, but it's not that Jordan Peterson. Is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
Okay. It's still the same Jordan Peterson. There's a famous Jordan Peterson, like in the
YouTuber, right?
conservative movement,
Oh.
who,
No, yeah, not him.
Okay.
In
Okay.
fact, Jordan has his own story. I think his little daughter was hit and killed by a mail truck
Oh,
just up the road here. You know what I mean?
that's heartbreaking.
So I'm like, I can start, pitching those more. I can start vlogging more with like a purpose, not a purpose, but showing more, putting more effort into the vlog and kind of taking the time away that I was learning this course and take the things I've learned from the course and apply it to the Gritty Mama's website, which is still under construction and has been for 4
And you
years.
need to get a store figured out, right? Like everybody's like, where do I get a hat? And I'm like, I don't know. Where do you get a hat? Where do you buy
there's
it?
nowhere to buy it yet because I was like, the fulfillment. I can't do the fulfillment. So I need to learn Shopify. Like I cannot keep up with all of it. Well, you need an assistant. Well, do you want to be it? You know what I mean? Because there's like so many things.
You don't just need an assistant. You need like a very educated assistant in that subject. Right?
Yeah.
It's not just you need somebody to take calls for you and do notes and whatever. Like you need a tech genius or a social media genius or somebody who's educated, like not a cheap little teenager.
Yeah, right. And the problem is everybody, needs to be paid. And I've just been learning all of it myself because I can't pay anyone because I am still, I will say, and it can be another conversation for another day, but we're not out of the woods yet with our fancy little contract that we had signed, our agreement with the petitioner.
Is it not signed yet?
It's not signed. So we'll see what happens with that. We're not out of the woods yet. And I can't wait. I can't wait. I cannot wait for him. I cannot wait for the finances to come in. I just have to go. And if there was any takeaway from me being at the temple and asking God, what do I do? It's just to keep building. It's to keep the momentum and take the things I have learned from digital real estate, apply it to myself, make the vlog. It's like make America great again. Make the vlog great again. Make the podcast even better. Focus on the things that, because my patriarchal blessing says, if I put the kingdom of God and its righteousness first, I'll be blessed in the land. And the only way I can think to do that is by in the walls of my own home and not necessarily leaving my own home to go work in some 9-to-5 job and coming home to a bomb of a home and trying to take
a dysfunctional mess. Yeah.
So let's make what I have, go back to my roots, go back to the drawing board and make what I already have better. So stay tuned for that, you guys. We're going to try it. And now with school starting and hopefully a little bit of extra time, have some more guests on the podcast, learn from them, give you the updates on life and process my life. And I don't want it to be all about me, process yours.
Well, I would love to have, we live in a valley that's full of really interesting people, right? Like some people that have faces a lot of people would recognize and some don't, right? There's some people that are just hidden gems that would be fascinating to have on the podcast. But I love interviewing people. I love getting to know other people's stories and just like educating ourselves through people's actual lived stories, and it is a little bit concerning because you don't know how much people want to put out there. Yeah. I think you and I are both the kind of people that are very open. I try and be careful not to put my family and the people I love under scrutiny and super public because they're not choosing to have their face on YouTube. And, everybody deserves their privacy. But I remember sitting in therapy with James, I might have talked about this before, where he was like, well, you don't ask for my opinion. And I'm like, come again? Like, we're having a conversation. I just assume you're going to open your mouth and tell me your opinion. I just assume that you're like me and you're very willing to just give your opinion. I didn't realize that you wanted me to ask for your opinion. And there's a lot of people out there who are waiting for somebody to care, waiting to be asked, but also nervous to share their stories. And so it's interesting to think about who could we have on that would be willing to share their story and what kinds of things. I think when people kind of scrutinize how you respond to things or the questions you ask, it's because they're the people that are sitting there like, oh, I wouldn't want somebody to ask me that question. Like that's a little bit intense or prying or whatever. Right. And so I'm sure it comes with a learning curve.
Yeah, you get ripped on for being an oversharer, but people surely continue to listen to you overshare.
Yeah, it's because when they put themselves in that spot, they don't want to answer. There's a lot of people who just aren't like us. And I think if that's one thing that I'm learning as I get older, it's just that we are all so different. And what is intuitive to you is not intuitive to somebody else. And the only way that you can really start to understand the world around you is to listen to the perspectives of other people.
It's what we share that might offend someone. And they're like, instantly turned off because it's not something that they believe or view
or have heard before.
Yeah. And it bugs them and they're hurt that they're frustrated or disappointed that they have lost a little bit of respect for you. And that's natural and it's okay. And that respect can come back because we don't have to think the same way.
Well, I think you could call it cognitive dissonance. I think it's, people like to use that phrase when it comes to religion, when you start to learn history or, learn deep doctrines that you didn't know before or whatever, right? It's like these things that you're like, oh my gosh, it's challenging something, a preconceived idea that I had or a belief that I had, and it's challenging that, right? It's, people think something about you and then they hear something different and they're like, what do I do with this information? How can I reconcile these two images or these two ideas of the same person?
Was like, I'll never forget watching you when we're like, with Dana and Leah, when they were explaining, they're going to give you a list of therapists and you have to choose one. It will be assigned to you. pick. You don't get to pick. It's like stuff that you're like, wait, excuse me? You don't get to go shop for the therapist or for the car that you want. You're given it and you will obey. And in the meantime, I have been shredding my nails while I'm sitting here because I pick at them. So maybe I should go get some acrylics and just have them like prevent me from ripping everything apart.
No, you know what's going to happen. Then you'll just be picking the acrylic off.
Probably will. I need help. Oh my gosh. Anyway,
it's ADHD, my friend. You got to figure out something for you to fidget with. Or the way I deal with it is I actually have, you can't tell from how I'm sitting, but I have a second chair and I have my legs up on the chair and my hands are like in my lap, and I'm holding the mic because that's the way it's
and you seem so calm and put together and you can listen. You don't look like you're fidgeting at all.
Well, it's because I've done things to like make it better. Oh, I also took ADHD meds before we did this. So there's that. So maybe you need some ADHD meds.
Maybe I do. Oh my gosh, add it to my collection. Anyway, we are on.
I will say one tidbit of information free from all of our years going to doctors. A really great psychiatrist told me that unmedicated or like ADHD that you don't deal with, it actually causes anxiety and causes depression.
I heard that.
So you could take ADHD meds and not need anxiety or depression meds, depending on your different situation. I am not a doctor. I'm not telling people to go get off their meds or whatever, but I will say that it does change your life for the better if you have a good doctor who knows what they're doing and can say, like, I took one of my kids to the psychiatrist and was like, okay, you've got them on this anxiety med, but why are you not medicating for ADHD? I was like, well, because they don't want to be on it. They took one ADHD meds, which again, for information, just before we go, because I think it's a widespread problem and it's helpful to know when you have anxiety and depression meds, it takes a long time to build up in your system.
Yeah.
And so you ease onto them and you ease off of them, right? But an ADHD med, if you take it in the morning, depending on if it's an extended release for the day or if it's just like a 4-hour pill, but so you can take them in the morning and they're out of your system by bedtime. So you can take one, decide you don't like it for a variety of reasons, right? You get heart palpitations or they make you sick to yourself or whatever it is, right? And then you can try a different med the next time. You can go and try a different, because they have all different kinds of ADHD meds. Now it's not just your traditional Adderall. They've like changed the chemistry of some. And anyway, that's a different conversation.
Well, it's like the women who have heart attacks they display or present very differently than a man having a heart attack.
Yes. But with these meds, you can try different ones and they will affect you in different ways. So anyway, my kid took one and didn't like it and didn't want to try anymore. And the psychiatrist was like, well, you should try a different med and find one that works so that you stop the symptoms that are causing the anxiety and the depression. So anyway, a little helpful tidbit for people out there who don't know much about it. ADHD meds actually can be like super helpful. And the last thing I'll say is they used to say, just take them during the school year because they can be addictive and all of that, right? But now they're saying it's actually way more beneficial to take them year round so that you can maintain positive relationships in your family. Because when you are like sensory overload and easily agitated and all of that kind of stuff, because you're not on your ADHD meds, it causes a lot of problems in families. And so family life is terrible.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting tidbit as well.
And that's another thing I wanted to have is have professionals. It's like kind of mirror what Mel Robbins does, and because I love listening to the guests that she has, and if I can provide a platform that people listen to, I might as well give them golden nuggets of information, and
things that they can actually apply
of hope, because I need the freaking hope. So thank you guys for listening. Sunday morning, I got to get to church. And we'll have some good things coming up because I plan to really deep dive into the podcast and the vlog and hopefully make my life better. And hopefully you along with it. So like, subscribe, comment. Yes.
Help Julie out.
Yes. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
So now you know what